Hi Aries, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of August. Kind of unbelievable to be saying it is August, but it's coming up. So here we go. So the big deal is at the end of July, Jupiter, which is the grand benefic, re-entered the fixed air sign of Aquarius, where it will transit until December 29th. And Jupiter in Aquarius is about expanding through networking and friends and community. And for you, it's transiting in your house of friends and groups and networking until the end of the year. So it's really expanding your options to meet people if you're trying to promote your brand, if you're trying to find like-minded individuals, or if you're trying to seek employment or job opportunities. Jupiter in Aquarius will really help you to connect and network in organic and in social media type ways. So really utilizing that opportunity. And Saturn, which is the architect of the zodiac, entered Aquarius on December 17th, and it will be there of last year, and it will be there until March 7th of 2023. So this is really where you're anchoring and structuring your goals going forward. And Aquarius is also a sign of enlightenment and higher thinking, so really expanding in those ways. And as we begin the month of August, the Sun and Mercury are both transiting in the fixed fire sign of Leo in your house of romance and creativity and self-expression. Venus and Mars are both transiting in the mutable earth sign of Virgo in your house of work and daily routine and habits. So really getting creative and organized and productive in your work. So as we begin August, the focus is on having fun and socializing, but definitely focusing on your routine. On August 1st, the Sun and Mercury meet up at 10 degrees of Leo at 10:08 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that's a really creative aspect for thinking and communication. Later that day, there are more obstacles with communication and in general, because Mercury opposes Saturn at 5:50 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that could bring struggles with friends and groups, and that's an energy of the glass is half empty. So it's better to utilize it in a way of paying attention to things that need a lot of hard work and patience. And later at 11:14 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and on August 2nd at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the Sun opposes Saturn, and that can bring breakups and endings. So it's a real reality check type of energy. And then on August 2nd, Juno, which is an asteroid regarding partnering, stations direct at 11:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 8 degrees of the mutable fire sign of Sagittarius. And this occurs in your house of promotion and teaching and higher learning, and for all of us, expanding how we partner with others. And then late on the 2nd at 11:53 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and early on the 3rd at 2:53 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Venus forms a beautiful trine to Uranus. And for you, this could bring excellent opportunities for work, for unexpected financial endeavors, for partnering romantically perhaps, but definitely great for work for you in the houses it's occurring. And then later that day, Mercury squares Uranus at 9:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that can bring unexpected news. Again, most likely at work, but it could be romantically. And with anything with Uranus, expect the unexpected. And then on August 4th, the sun forms a beautiful trine to Chiron, the wounded healer. And this occurs at 6:41 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Chiron is transiting in your sign, in your house of self. And this gives you the courage to open your heart to love and to face the pain. And then on August 6th, the sun squares Uranus at 7:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That could bring unexpected romantic encounters. It could be very busy, could be a lot going on. And then on the 8th of August, there is a new moon that takes place at 9:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 16 degrees and 14 minutes of the fixed fire sign of Leo. And this is a beautiful new moon because the sun rules the sign of Leo. So the sun is in its dignity, and it's in your house of romance and fun and love affairs and creativity. So it's a very creative new moon. It's conjunct Mercury, the planet of communication, a lot of networking and stories that are occurring around that time. Really tap into that energy of what makes your heart happy. The moon in Leo is about focusing on your needs and on what makes you happy. So it's a beautiful new moon. And let's see. And then on August 9th, Venus opposes Neptune at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Perhaps deception gets uncovered at work or certain relationships get dissolved. And then on the 10th of August, the sun opposes Jupiter at 9:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And actually, sorry, Mercury opposes Jupiter at 9:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And more than likely, it's a lot of social energy and just a lot going on. It's not pejorative. It just could be a lot happening. And then on the 11th of August, Mercury, which is the planet of communication, enters the mutable Earth sign of Virgo at 5:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where it will be until August 29th in your house of work and habits and routine, really getting focused on what you need to accomplish. And on August 15th, Venus, which is the love goddess, enters the cardinal air sign of Libra at 9:27 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and on August 16th at 12:27 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And Venus will be in Libra until September 10th. And that is beautiful energy. Venus rules the sign of Libra. It loves being in Libra. It's very much about romance and beauty and partnering with others. For you, again, if you're single, this is phenomenal energy for meeting people and for bringing romantic opportunities, but also no matter what your situation, it's excellent for getting along with other people, good for your clientele, good for working with other people, good for friendships, good for having fun. Venus loves being in Libra, so that's a nice thing. And then on August 18th, Mercury meets up with Mars in Virgo at 11:28 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that can be a bit combative. For you, it occurs in your house of work and habits, so really getting things done and getting things accomplished. And then on August 19th, the sun opposes Jupiter at 8:29 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that's just an excessive energy, nothing negative, probably a lot of socializing. And then Uranus stations retrograde at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 14 degrees of the fixed Earth sign of Taurus. And we feel that 5 days before and 5 days after. That's the only outer planet that thus far is not retrograde. So that's the planet of brilliance and chaos. So that could bring upheaval and changes in a very rapid way. And then on August 20th, we have very magical thinking, because Mercury forms a trine to Uranus at 4:06 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that's a very innovative energy, great for brainstorming, writing, and reaching out to other people with whom you may want to work. And then on August 21st, Mars forms a trine to Uranus at 11:38 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and on the 22nd at 2:38 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that's also very innovative energy around taking action, good for getting things done. And then there's a full moon that occurs on August 22nd at 8:02 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And this full moon is at 29 degrees and 37 minutes of the fixed air sign of Aquarius, just where Jupiter was at the very end of July. And Jupiter is still only a degree away. It's at 28 degrees of Aquarius in this full moon chart. And for you, the full moon falls in your house of friends and groups, and it could bring fruition to networking that maybe you've been doing. Maybe you've been attending classes or building community. And, you know, full moons can be emotional, but when it's conjunct Jupiter, the luckiest planet, and in the sign of Aquarius, it's more likely to be fun. It could expand the energy, and Uranus will have just stationed retrograde, so it could be wacky. Uranus does rule the sign of Aquarius in modern astrology, but I think it's going to be more of an optimistic completion. And then on August 23rd, Mercury opposes Neptune at on August 24th, Venus trines Saturn at 8:48 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then on August 26th, Venus opposes Chiron in your sign at 9:24 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that might bring up wounds that you need to deal with and address. And then at 10:23 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Mercury trines Pluto. And that's really good for powerful thinking, for up-leveling and transforming your communication. Mercury is in Virgo, where it loves to be, so that's a really positive energy for getting work done and getting things accomplished. Great for your career. And then on August 30th, Mercury enters the cardinal air sign of Libra at 1:10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it will be in Libra for quite a while because it's going to retrograde on September 27th, at the end of September, at 25 degrees of Libra. So we'll have Mercury in an air sign in Libra for a while. A lot of focus on partnering with others and with self. This month will have a lot of energy for you around work and socializing and networking, but a lot around romance and what makes your heart happy, and a lot around partnering. So I wish you a lot of luck, Aries, and thank you very much.